welcome back to Matt again. My name is Rampage, and this is going to be a video talking about my experience with Uncharted 4 and why I think Naughty Dog kinda screwed it a little bit. Now, before I get into that, I do want to mention that my Bali vlog type videos will be uploaded either next week. When I actually upload them or edit them or whatever, that's when they'll go up, probably next week sometime. But anyway, let's get into this topic. So the reason why I wanted to create this video is because I feel that Uncharted has two features in it so far that are just a little bit weird, right? At least for me, these features hinder my experience because to me it doesn't make it feel any smoother, it doesn't add anything to the game, it just makes it a little bit harder to play. And those features are motion blur and the camera sensitivity being different to aim sensitivity. I'll get into those in a sec. But basically, motion blur, for those that don't know, is when you spin around in a game that's, 3D world, it will blur everything you see. Basically what my webcam does when I do this. It blurs the shit out of my hand. You can't really see what I'm doing. So imagine that with everything in the background as you move being blurred. Every time you move, right? That feature, to me, is very jarring, and I don't like the fact that Uncharted 1 to 3 on PS3 had a ridiculous amount of motion blur, right? In Uncharted 1 on PS3, you could literally move like half a millimeter and you could see the motion blur take place. It would actually load in and blur when you did that. And it's very fucking jarring. At least to me, because every game on PC, if I can't disable motion blur within the game itself, I will find a fucking config file or an ini file and change that shit. I don't want it in my games. I don't want it when I play a game, ever. Whether it be on console or on PC. I find it annoying. Because if I'm aiming, right, I can't see what the fuck I'm looking at. So I just don't understand why developers they keep putting it in. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But if they go for something like the Order 1886, right, where that motion blur was decent, it, created that sense of seamless movement or whatever, then that's fine, right? That game was locked at 30 frames per second. It was basically constant. Whereas Uncharted 4, I'm finding that it has dips in frame rate, and it's not, with motion blur enabled, it just doesn't feel, it just doesn't flow right. It just feels weird. Now, Uncharted 4 did have, 2 to 4 weeks extra development time and a day one 5 gig patch, for fuck's sake. Why does it feel this weird? Am I the only one that gets this impression? Does it feel weird for anyone else? Or does motion blur piss anyone else off? It definitely pisses me off by the looks. But why can't we turn motion blur off? Or lock the game to 30 frames per second if it's running at 60, right? Stuff like that has been pushing over into console for a while, but apparently Uncharted 4 doesn't have any sort of option like that. But anyway, I've talked about motion blur for a bit too much here, but the other thing, camera sensitivity, right? The aim sensitivity and camera sensitivity feel like they're both on a different scale, whereas camera sensitivity feels fine. I can set that to 3 and it feels, perfectly fine. It doesn't feel too slow, it doesn't feel too fast. But then when I set my aim sensitivity to 3, which is exactly the same, I go from looking like this to when I aim. I don't know about you, dude, but I can't aim like that. And I don't want to play with aim assist. So fuck you and fix it. I set the aim sensitivity down to 0 and it still feels like I'm doing this. Right? That's why my aim is so fucking bad, because the sensitivity is way too bloody high in comparison to the camera sensitivity. So, I don't know, man. It feels really strange. And on top of that, the camera motion, as well as adding motion blur onto that, it's a jarring experience. I want to hit something over there and it's slightly moving. I can't go on my I can't do this, right? I can't do that because it would do this. You know, I play on PC. I want that little, you know, micro movements. I can't do that. I can't do that when your sensitivity is like this. It doesn't work. I don't know. Let me know what you think about Uncharted 4 thus far. Do you think that the motion blur is too much? Do you think that the camera sensitivity just needs a slight tweak? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. My name is Rampage. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. And if you can tell by my voice, I am a little bit sick. My right ear is basically blocked from barley, so I can't. Pretty much, this ear is basically muffled, and I try. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, see you guys next time. Peace out.